What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Lineman Football, and today is going to be the best lineman face mask video. So, I know this seems like a pretty simple concept to pick the best face mask, but when I started to look into it and start to write my script for it, the amount of helmets there are and the amount of different styles for like solid steel, carbon steel, stainless steel, it got super complicated, so I've broken it down into a way I think is going to be helpful, and at the end I have one really big tip for you guys, so stay tuned for that. If your helmet isn't included in this video, that one tip is going to be your lifesaver. Okay, so I'm going to be starting with Riddell helmets. So basically Riddell has 4 helmets. They have the IQ, then they have the Speed, 360, Speedflex. Now, I'm not going to include the IQ because I feel like it's too old. Basically, if you're using that old of a helmet, just take what they give you. Don't worry about it. Once you get something a little newer, you're on a better team, you have more money, you're a little older, whatever. Just wait. Speed, I'm obviously going to cover because it is the most popular face helmet of all time. 360, I actually really hate the 360, and they never really came up with any good options for it, I think, and it's kind of not used that much anymore. So I'm not going to cover that, but I am going to cover Speedflex. So yeah, I'm just basically covering Speed and Speedflex as they're the most two popular. So the first face mask I'm going to cover is, I'm not even sure if a lot of you guys know about this yet. So the face mask for the Speed that I recommend is going to be the S2 BDC TX HS4. Now, in the past, I had the X2 BDC TX LW. The only difference there is the LW to the HS4. So that means mine was the LW, lightweight steel. So it was the hollow steel. Very unsafe, very bendable, not a great product. But Riddell has been starting to manufacture their face masks out of stainless steel instead. That's the new HS4 code. So that means that it is even lighter than it was before, and it's also stronger. The way you can tell a stainless steel face mask is now they'll have 2 bars in the middle. When you have a carbon steel, you'll have 1 bar, and for lightweight, you'll have 2 evil eyebrows. They're like this. That's the way to tell them apart. So the S2 BDC TX HS4 is my top pick for a Speed. Next is the Speedflex. So for them, I'm picking the SF2BDC TX. Again, exact same style of face mask. Now it's just for the Speedflex instead of the Speed. The way you can tell those two apart is at the front of the code, it'll have an SF for Speedflex instead of just an S for Speed. If you're also curious, 360, all their codes start with 360, then they'll go into the code. That's how they differentiate them at the start. Okay, so now let's look at Schutt. So with Schutt, I've broken them down into the Vengeance/Vengeance Z10, their brand new model. The Air XP, really popular Schutt helmet, still used by a lot of different people. And there's the DNA, but I'm just going to say right now, I don't like the DNA. There's not a lot of face mask styles for it. I found it very uncomfortable when I used one in the past. So again, if you're stuck with the DNA, deal with it for now. You'll get a better helmet soon, or if you can afford to buy a better helmet. So I'm not even going to include the DNA. I'm just going to use the Vengeance as it's the most popular Schutt model, with including the Z10, their brand new one, and the Air XP area, where they kind of all fit each other. So with the Schutt Vengeance, I'm going with the ROPO DW Pro. Now, you can get the Justin Tuck style big grills for the Vengeance. I couldn't find them, so I don't know where they are anymore. But so basically, I'm going with this style. As you can see, it's very similar to the S2 BDC TX. Again, I really like those angled styles, and it's not super big, so it's still super light. It should be pretty lightweight still. That is why it's my top pick for a Vengeance or Vengeance Z10. And next we have the Air XP kind of model. So with that, I'm going with their original Big Grill 2.0 or their SSU Super Pro. Now that second one is the Bane style. I absolutely love both of those. Okay, I know there's a lot of bars on them, which is kind of hypocritical of what I just said, but the reason I'm picking those is because they're available in titanium options. So titanium is still the latest style of face mask on the market. However, it does make it the most expensive. When you're looking at those face masks, it can run you around $170 instead of the usual $40, $50 mark. Again, 2 great options though. Really mean looking, really good. So I'd check those out. Again, I'm going to be linking to every face mask in the description down below through Sports Unlimited. And yeah, so for the Schutt face masks, they come in 2 separate options. The first option is just being normal solid steel, which makes the Big Grill styles like this super heavy, super clunky. So if you're willing to spend a little more money, get the titanium option. It's going to last you a long time. It's super strong, it's super lightweight, It's great. Okay, and the last helmet I'm looking at is the Xenith helmet brand. So Zenith has two helmets basically. They have the X2 and they have their new Prime. So I'm not going to look at the X2. Again, the face mask options weren't great for that. I also used in the past, very uncomfortable helmet. Used it one season, hated it, and that was because it was my rookie year on a team. I didn't have a choice. I took what they gave me, and I got something better later on. So, but I'm going to look at their Prime, really popular helmet. Now for the Prime, I'm looking at the Xenith Prime Predator face mask. All their face masks just go by one word, like Prime, Predator, the Prowl, all those different ones. So I'm looking at the Predator because I just think it looks the meanest. They do have some actual Lineman ones, but I feel like they're really big, really bulky, and they have some really big gaps to grab onto. I like the Predator because it's angles, and Fletcher Cox wears that. I think it's really sick, so that'll be my pick for a Zenith helmet. Now again, the Zenith Predator is also available in a titanium version. However, the normal solid steel is going to run you around $45, and the titanium option is going to run you around $174. So again, really big price difference, but it's actually really worth it as it's going to last you as long as you need it to. So guys, hopefully by watching me up to this point, you've kind of been able to figure out that one rule, and that rule is angles. Now, although you might have a style, the reason I like angles is because even when there's gaps to get your hands in, it makes it even more awkward just by putting them on those angles. When you have them straight up and down, it makes it a lot easier to get your fingers in, whereas with angles, you can use less bars, but because the way they're angled, it still makes it just as hard for people to get their fingers in, and that's the whole point of the Big Grill. When you have something like this with a lot of 90-degree lines to it, makes it really easy to grab on in multiple places. So that's why I avoid 90-degree angle face mask. Go for ones with tons and tons of angles with it, and again, try and pick the lightest material possible. The lightest is titanium, then stainless steel, lightweight, although it's a really terrible option, and then carbon steel. Now, also another thing to look into, some of these face masks might not be legal where you're from. The two Riddell face masks I mentioned are legal in Canada. The Big Grills I mentioned for Schutt are not, and the Predator version is. So everyone's kind of following those same guidelines, so I'd be careful and make sure with your league you're getting a face mask that is legal. So be very careful of that. If you want more information on that, you can check out my PSA on buying Big Grills, or in that video I also mentioned my article on my website as well. So there you guys go. I hope you guys enjoyed that video today. If you like this video, please hit that like button. If you really like this video, please hit share. It is a tremendous help to me. I keep asking you guys to do that because it is a huge help to me. If you're new here, as a lot of you are lately, don't forget to subscribe as I put out 3 videos every single week. And as always, check me out on Instagram, my favorite way to get information out to you guys. Thanks.